Get ready, start. A couple of months ago, the UPA government cleared foreign direct investment FDI in retail. It is a politically risky step, but for once, Prime Minister Manmohan Singh showed both spine and spunk biting the bullet. Since then, both left parties and the BJP have expressed serious reservations over the decision. The general view is that it will affect the lakhs of small indigenous kirana stores spread across the country. Interestingly, nobody has spoken about the FDI effect on the fledgling class of Dalits entrepreneurs in India. With the debate on FDI in retail intensifying, members of the Dalit Indian Chambers of Commerce and Industry DICCI fanned out in Delhi's Azadpur fruit and vegetable mandi to find out if Dalits become successful adhatyas. Generally described as middlemen, adhatyas preside over mandis, marts, and regulate trading in food grains, vegetables, and fruits. From farms to kirana stores, they call the shots. Every apple we eat, every grain of wheat we crush into flour, every tomato we consume must pass through the hands of some Adhityas or other. The Mandi Parishad rules make it mandatory for farmers to bring their products to Adhityas. Kisans who bring their trucks full of apples from Shimla or vegetables from Meerut don't have the freedom to sell their products to whosoever they want. It is some Adhityas who sell their produce for a commission. It's not just this. Wholesale buyers, known as loaders, must also follow rules laid down by Adhityas. Loaders are not expected to be seen even talking to Kisans waiting for their payments. Most Adhityas belong to a very subgroup of upper castes. Functionally speaking, they are a closed community who control mandis all over India. They are a clan in themselves. In the Azadpur Mart, a group of Dalits has succeeded as transporters, fruit exporters, and contractors. Their turnover runs into crores, but there is no Dalit Adhitya. That's because the mandi system remains rooted in antiquity, whereas Dalal Street has been digitized. It is this medieval mandi system that fears FDI. In a study on Dalit enterprise led by Devesh Kapoor of the Center for the Advanced Study of India, CASI, University of Pennsylvania, most Dalit entrepreneurs surveyed were first timers who had started their business after 1991 when the process of liberalization began. The DICCI has about 3,000 members nationwide, and most of them are into caste neutral business. Both the CASI study and DICCI experience agree Dalits are most likely to succeed in occupations that are new and caste neutral in origins. CASI researchers have found Dalit entrepreneurs of different shades engaged in manufacturing heavy duty cranes, constructing tunnels, building bridges, and building machines. However, there is no evidence to show Dalits succeeding as traders. The DICCI too is yet to find a Dalit multimillionaire trader. Why have most Dalit entrepreneurs come into being post 1991 and not before that? The CASI researchers studying the phenomenon have found a reason not known before. Post 1991, most Indian businessmen have to compete globally. Competitiveness starts with the price structure. To that end, the tradition of producing or selling one product under one roof has withered away and outsourcing of ancillaries has replaced it. Millions of new entrepreneurs, including Dalits, have got opportunity. That's the trigger for growing Dalit enterprise.